We want to go into Premiere Pro. Yo, what's going on, guys? We are back with part 2 of how to do the Instagram promos for your YouTube videos or whatever video you just made. So we're gonna break that down today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our image that we made in the last video and we're gonna import it into our sequence, and then we're gonna add the video into it, and then yeah, so I'm gonna show you how to do that. So we're gonna take our image that we made and we're gonna import it. And then you want to get your video, whatever video that you did, you want to grab it. You want to import that as well. Now, that's just what I imported. So what you want to do is first, right, you want to get a new sequence, but as well you want to go to your sequence and you want to go to your sequence settings. And then once you do that, you want to type in 1280 by 1280. And this is gonna make it like a 1x1 dimension, square dimension. And then you want to hit OK. So now as you see, your sequence, your frame size is now a square. It's a perfect square. So now you want to grab your image and then set it, bring it in, and as you see, now your image is perfectly placed right there into your frame. So now that is, you have your video, do the same thing, and all you're gonna do, whatever length your promotion is, I mean 30 seconds to a minute, that's you know, as much as you want to do. Now music videos you could do as much as a minute clip, whatever you want to do. So just for this example, I'm just gonna bring in like 5 seconds, whatever it is, and I'll make this as long too. Now as you see, as I imported the video, it's not really sized up right. So you're like, oh man, it doesn't work. But what you want to do, you want to click on it and you want to right click, and now you want to scale to frame size. So now your video is perfectly placed into your Instagram frame. So when you press play, everything is smooth, is clean, this is neat. You, like I said, you can go more in depth with the frame. You can add text, you can erase some of the image, you can do whatever you want with it. So this is just, you know, this is just an example and showing you how to do it. Now once you get finished with it, you want to let it play out, and you always want to hit one frame back. That way when you zoom in, you see you want to press O, and that'll give your ending to your video. And then we're going to scroll to the very top of the video, and then we're going to press I, and that'll give you your start point on your video. So when you do that, you want to sequence this out. You want to render it in to out and just let it take its time. Just bear with me a little minute. But as soon as you'll do that, it'll go green, and then you want to click on File, and you want to hit Export and Media. So once you do that, you want to set a custom format to sequence it out in. And then I'm gonna bring it up right quick. So as you see, this is fully sequenced. This is what the frame looks like, and it looks good. And like I said, you can add whatever you want to it. Now, like I said, you have to make sure that your frame size, your frame rate is 1280 by 1280. The same size that you exported in Photoshop is the same size that you need to export in Premiere Pro. So like I said, hit File, then you're going to export media, and as you see, it's the complete length of what our endpoints, our in and out points were on our sequence. So this means it's the whole video. So then you want to go to custom, and I really don't know if y'all can see this window, but I'm gonna go through it with y'all. So your output name, you can name it whatever you want to name it. Make sure that your export video and your export audio is checked. Have to do that. If not, nothing will be right. So now you just need to make sure that your output is the same as your source. In the summary, you need to make sure that your output is the same as your source. So it's 1280 by 1280, and then your source is 1280 by 1280. You need to make sure as well that whatever you're exporting in, it needs to be the same as your source as well, like the frames per second. Everything has to be the same. The basic video settings, if it's not checked, you need to uncheck it, and you need to change the width to 1280 by 1280. Everything 1280 by 1280. Then you need to click it back so it locks it, and then you always want to render at maximum depth. If you don't, sometimes it may look like pixelated or choppy, but you know, most of the time it is pretty good. So you need to make sure your profile is high and your level is around 4.2. And then your bitrate settings, this is the most important thing. This is just an Instagram video. So what you want to do, your bitrate encoding, you want to VBR 1 pass it. This, like I said, it's just a promo. It's not the real thing. If it was the real thing, like if it was just the actual video, my bitrate encoding is always like CBR, and my target bit rate would be around like 40. But in this case, you just want a 1 pass, and then you want to change it to somewhere like 8 to 15 in terms of like megabytes per second. So usually I do like 12 to 15, so I give it a good bit rate. So I'm just gonna type in 12. I'm gonna hit enter. And then down at the bottom, you just always want to make sure that use maximum render quality is checked. Just make sure all the time you always want the max render quality. If not, like I said, it may look pixelated, it may look choppy, it may not. So I don't have the media encoder that comes with the program, so I always just export it. It's the same thing, it exports right to your computer. I don't ever queue it, so that's just how I do things. So it may be different for somebody else, but as soon as you export it, your video will load and it will go to the folder wherever you place it at. So, but yeah, man, that's part 2 of how to make your Instagram promos, and hope you enjoyed the video.